How you doing? I'm the Magic Motivator Jamal Keys, and welcome to the Entertainer's Edge. Listen, there's so many things going on right now around the world, around the country, and I just want to point out some things, and there's some article, a couple things out of an article that I got recently, that I read recently, and I'll leave the link below on the article. The article is talking about when Broadway comes back. 5 ways the pandemic will transform the live theater industry. Now, we know that live entertainment is suffering right now. Some of you that do smaller shows, bigger shows, or whatever type of show you might do, it trickles all the way down from, of course, Broadway and the movie industry. That's everything trickles down to us, what some people would call the small fries, trickles down to us. So in this article, I'm just going to read one part of the article. I'll leave the whole article below. It was talking about Broadway programming will shift its focus. This is part of the article. I'm going to read this. Broadway programming will shift its focus. According to the Broadway League, the trade organization that represents theater owners, producers, Broadway audiences during the most recent complete season were made up of 35% residents and 65% tourists. That's how it was before. By the league's estimation, Broadway will not fully regain tourist audiences until sometime in 2025. Thus, Broadway will need to develop and produce content tailored more towards the 35% of audience that hail from the New York City area. Why am I reading that, and why is that important to you? This is what we need to be doing as entertainers and speakers. We need to be focusing on our land in a certain radius around where we're from right now, as far as building our brand. You need to be focusing on, if you do birthday parties, focus on a small area, concentrated area on that. Focus on those type of people that you would perform for and entertain for. If you do, for myself, I do a lot of tourist stuff. I do tourist, I live in a tourist town. So Indianapolis, Indiana, we have 5 sports teams, professional sports teams. We have the Colts, baseball, basketball, of course. We have another, of course, the stock car racing and all this kind of stuff. We have all these things in here where now it's time for me and my family to focus around our area, really focus and embrace our area as far as entertainment goes, because a lot of these conventions and stuff, I would perform and speak as a speaker at some of these conferences. You're not going to have conferences like that anymore. We need to start focusing and looking at around our herd, around our area, and focus on that right now. That's what we need to be doing. One of the stories I talk about when I do my speaking is I talk about these 2 men. 2 men they both work for a shoe company. Part of their job is to go out and look at opportunity for the shoe company. One man goes to a specific island, and he looks around, he says, man, these people don't even wear shoes like we wear shoes where we're from. Why would we, even spend the money, as far as shoes go, and try to spend the money to even build an infrastructure here and sell them the concept of the type of shoes we wear. Where the other gentleman goes there, he sees the same thing, but he takes it a different way. He perceives it such a different way. He looks around and says, wait a minute, these people don't even know about different type of name brand shoes and what shoes do and how shoes go. They don't even understand tennis shoes are for this and running shoes are for this and this is for this. I see big opportunity in this. And that's how you need to start thinking right now as an entertainer. What type of opportunity do you see during this downtime? Because they said, according to the article, they're talking about tourism might not even start really picking back up till 2025. But that doesn't mean that we can't do shows. That doesn't mean that we can't speak as speakers. That doesn't mean that. If anything, they're going to need us even more now than ever before. And that's what we're going to talk about today. When it first happened, I'm going to tell you a little bit of when this pandemic first happened. I actually had a show. I did a show in Delaware, and then after Delaware, I did a show down in Florida, of all places. And after that, shows start dwindling down for me. it started dwindling down for me. And I was hopeful because it was going to be one of our best years ever. My children have a band, and of course I do comedy magic and I also speak. So my children perform live band, and we have a whole family show that we do together. We were really excited because the year before we did a tour, and a gentleman loved us on the tour. It was a tour at East Coast. He loved the tour, loved us at the tour so much, we actually re-upped on the tour, and he actually had 2 extra dates for the tour, added on to what we had the year before. He had a friend that was a producer, and we was going to do a mini tour. The first tour, the big tour, was 2.5 months. The other tour was only going to be about a week and a half, something like that. We had a couple empty dates on there, but we were really excited. So I was in denial for a while, and I'm going to tell you how I know I was in denial is because I kept moving on the chessboard the same way I moved before when I would, do your follow-ups, do this, do that. I had a specific set of things that I would do, my daily habits that I've just, developed along the years of 20 years of me doing this, that I do on a daily basis to only help me get more shows and book more shows. I was doing the same thing. But during this time, you can't move on the chessboard the same way you moved before. You have to move different. Before, you might have been a knight on the chessboard, but knights move different than rooks. So now you need to move like a rook. If you was a knight before, and if you was a rook before, you need to move like a knight. You have to move different on the chessboard. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The top 5 things every entertainer should be doing right now during their
You're now in a new era with access to new revolutionary, innovative, and time-efficient tools, if used correctly, will ultimately separate you from your competition.
Hi, my name's Brian, and I attended a few weeks ago a presentation by Jamal Keynes, and I have to say I'm really happy that I did. I found his strategies very easy to implement, and very much so setting me apart from the rest of the pack. Well, and I have to say, as a direct result of implementing these strategies, I landed at the position that I was looking for. So I've had great results, and I'm really thankful for that, and thanks Jamal for doing an outstanding job.
Hi, I'm Mark Griffin from Cookies by Design, and I just want to say one more time that I learned a lot from Jamal's presentation today. I got a lot out of it.
Hello, my name is Michael Love. I'm a radio host, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker. He began to motivate me and give me tools of empowerment.
Welcome to the Entertainers. If you're an entertainer or speaker, you know that the business is very competitive. And having the right online and or offline marketing and sales strategy is key to getting a yes or no in closing the sale or getting more clients. Why not take advantage and give yourself the edge needed with a free download of Jamal's top-selling book, 101 Ways to Market and Advertise You. This free download will give any entertainer and or speaker the easy way to implement tools needed to stand out and vanish the competition. Simply visit www.sellingwithmagic.com and download your free copy of 101 Ways to Market and Advertise You now while supplies last.